Friday, Abram pays tithe. Memory verse, Romans 12:10. Be kindly affectioned one to another with brotherly love, in honor preferring one another. As Abram and his men returned from rescuing the captives, the king of Salem met them and blessed Abram. His name was Melchizedek, and he was both a king and a priest. The name of his city, Salem, later became Jerusalem. That's in Genesis chapter 14, verses 18 to 20.
Genesis chapter 14 verse 18 to 20. Verse 18. And Melchizedek king of Salem brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High God. Verse 19. And he blessed him, and said, Blessed be Abram of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth. Verse 20. And blessed be the Most High God, which hath delivered thine enemies into thy hand. And he gave him tithes of all.
Melchizedek represented Jesus, who is also both a king and a priest. He is our high priest in heaven now, and he will be our king in the new Jerusalem. Hebrews chapter 6, verse 19 and 20, Revelation chapter 19 and verse 16, and chapter 21 verses 2 and 3.
Hebrews chapter 6 verses 19 and 20. Verse 19. Which hope we have as an anchor of the soul, both sure and steadfast, and which entereth into that within the veil. Ver 20. Whither the forerunner is for us entered. Even Jesus, made an high priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. Revelation chapter 19 verse 16. And he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings, and Lord of Lords. Revelation chapter 21 verses 2 and 3. Verse 2. And 1 John saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Verse 3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them, and be their God.
The story in Genesis says that Abram paid tithe to Melchizedek. What is tithe? If someone asked you what paying tithe means, what would you say? Is tithe different from offerings? Yes. Tithe means 1/10. It would be 1 cent out of every 10 cents, $1 out of $10, and so on. Everything we have really belongs to God, and we show our thankfulness by giving offerings. But the tithe is His in a very special way. Where does God ask us to take the tithe, and what does He promise if we obey? Malachi chapter 3 verse 10.
Malachi chapter 3 verse 10. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it.
The storehouse is the church. The tithe from all the churches in a conference is sent to that conference office. Then the conference, not the churches, pays the ministers. That way, a minister doesn't depend on his church to pay him. What a wise, fair plan God has made. Some people are tempted to think they can't afford to pay tithe, but paying an honest tithe shows that we know that God really owns everything we have, and that we are choosing to trust God and obey Him no matter what happens. So, when we get money, the very first thing we do is to take out God's tithe and give it back to Him. Then we can plan how to use the rest for offerings, paying bills, and buying things we need. Let's apply it. Keeping even 1 cent of God's tithe for ourselves is just the same as stealing. Read Leviticus chapter 27 verse 30 and Malachi chapter 3 verses 8 to 10 to find out how really serious it is.
Leviticus chapter 27 verse 30. And all the tithe of the land, whether of the seed of the land, or of the fruit of the tree, is the Lord's, it is holy unto the Lord. Malachi chapter 3 verses 8 to 10. Verse 8. Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, Wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings. Verse 9. Ye are cursed with a curse. For ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. Verse 10. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts. If I will not open you the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it.